My guilty pleasure is Dr. Hook sharing the night together.
Yes! Oh. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! Selector! Welcome again, everybody, to Mangoseed Selectors. Today in the selector chair, we have Mr. Sam Campbell, a drummer, and we back in the band room again, so to speak. So same format as the last couple that we've done so far, which is one song that you wish that you wrote, your favorite album, and then at the end, as a treat, we have guilty pleasures. So you have to present 3 songs to us, and we have to guess which one is your guilty pleasure. I think I know which one is your guilty pleasure, right? But anyway, we'll come to that when we come to it. So, all right, mate, what song did you wish that you wrote?
So I picked, this was really hard. All of these questions were really hard because I was like, there's so many choices. But I went with...
for setting the format for this. So, thank you, Karlos.
I went with Kashmir by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
For the very, very simple reason that they're playing in 6. The whole band is in 6. But John Bonham, the drummer, just goes, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna just play 4 across the board. And it just has this like heavy groove behind this riff in 6, and it's amazing. It's really, really good.
It's also one of those songs that's just been sampled to death, right? Like,
yeah,
the drum beats, the it's like every bit of that song has been sampled over and over and over and over again.
Who was it? Who did the Godzilla track? Who was that?
The Godzilla track was Puff Daddy.
Yeah. Puff took it.
Yeah.
But, and rightfully so, I think. I mean, John Bonham is
it's crazy.
Powerhouse of a drummer.
Mm.
John Bonham was also really famous for liking to drink, right?
Oh yeah, no, he died because he fell asleep and vomited and then inhaled his vomit.
Did he also drive a car into a pool? Is that him, or like he would start fights and he was like notorious for?
I don't know.
For being off. You see, I had to check that.
No,
but also, like the song, it's one of those songs that I think can only be written in the 70s and be popular. I mean, other people write songs like that now, but that song would never play on the radio now, right?
Like the lyrics, man, like the lyrical content is so nerdy.
Right?
Like it's such a geeky like topic. They're singing about Valhalla and like riding into war with their fucking, I don't know. I don't even know what they're talking about. Like, but
also this song is epic in its movements. It's like it just keeps going and going and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we were talking about this when we were talking to Richard. It's like we sometimes in the band room we'll be getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then all of us collectively go, nah, we can't do that. Nobody's gonna buy it.
We went too far.
Yeah, we went too far, and there's no too far in this song.
What I love about this song is that you play it once and then you turn it up and play it again, and then you play it again and turn it up again.
Yeah, right.
Turning it up. I was like, how much can my speakers on my amp loud can I play? You know, because you want the whole house to shake, man. Amazing song, amazing.
Yeah, great, man, great.
And I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. No, maybe longer than that. I went and I got the Led Zeppelin back catalog, and when you listen to them in context, man, it's like it's one incredible musicianship and incredible playing, and everybody's like at the top of the game playing, but also just like they feel like they were making music without listening to anybody else. I know that's not true. I know everybody they will listen to other musicians and other bands and stuff, but it's so singular, the way that they were putting riffs together and the way that they were the songwriting and how they were constructing the music. Really,
what year was it?
I'm not sure.
Kashmir, I think it was 78.
Earlier than that, no?
But like, just to kind of comment on what you said about like not listening, in a sense, or like making music just from themselves. Like, yeah. I heard some story that Robert Plant was in a band before Zeppelin, got fired because they were like, you can't sing, your voice is shit. What? You can't, like, what you're doing is really bad. Stop doing it. Get out of the band. Oh. And then he goes and starts Led Zeppelin. And then it's called Led Zeppelin because some record label was like, this is going to go down like a Led Zeppelin.
Amazing. I didn't know that.
This is going to crash like a fucking lead weight. Apparently. I mean, this is all hearsay, I guess. So the myth goes.
I was 75. It was 75. Yeah. 1975.
Yeah, so I mean, people that were doing sort of kind of out there things then was people like Bowie trying to do different kind of sounds and different kind of soundscapes. Mm. Yeah, so it's very and then you had horrible glam rock. You know, which glam rock was as big and as bold as that, but poppy. Mm. You know what I mean?
The thing is with Zeppelin, right, is that it could easily be glam rock and it isn't. Mm. Like you could hear where like somebody, either the producer or the writers or whoever, are just going like an inch further is total glam rock and insanity, but right here is fine art and genius.
You're a face paint set away from being Kiss right now.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Exactly. And somebody had the good fortune, the good sense. Maybe it was John Bonham when he was drinking to go, let's not do that.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Tell us about your album, your favorite album.
So this album, it's from a band of Montreal. The album's called Hissing Fauna, Are You the Destroyer? And I found this album came out in 2016, I think. And it came out the same summer that I went to my first music festival. And this band were playing. Oxygen in Dublin.
Right, yeah.
Over in Ireland. And I had not listened to the band before. I had no idea of their music, just wandered into the tent while they're playing. And it was just like, oh shit, there's 19 of you on stage. And you're wearing all of that like costume, mask, huge like performance, but doing this like retro music or like throwback to kind of Beach Boys arrangements and harmonies and the Beatles arrangements and things like that, but doing it in 2016. It was, it blew my mind. Some really great songwriting on there.
Well, we'll come to the songwriting in a second. Carl, what do you want to say?
That album, right? It was hard to listen. And I was at work and I put it on and I was like, I'm not turning this off, I'm leaving it on. And my first thing was, I'm a really angry, confused teenager and no one understands me music. And I'm just, And then I was like, I'm at this teenager, all this lost teenager party and we're all monged out and we're sitting in a room and experimenting with drugs for the first time. And this music sort of fits that picture. Mm. And then I was like, hang on a minute, it's new wave. I was like, is it new wave? And I was like, but it's funny new wave. It's odd new wave.
I need to correct myself really quick. It wasn't 2016, it was 2008. I was 16.
Right.
So I was like, so for me it was like, it's new wave, but new wave-ish. Mm. You know, it sounded, for me, it sounded very, like they hadn't quite matured yet. That album, okay, we're firing off this, and there's an immaturity of this is all great and blah blah blah, and they just recorded it, and it's like that's it.
Yeah.
It's like being in a band for the first time, and no matter how old you are, 15, 16, and you think this is the shit, and then you record it, and it's like, oh yeah, we really love that. And that's what it felt like to me. It felt adventurous. Felt as though they were free to do whatever they wanted to do and to pull on influences that they wanted to pull on. You know, but yeah, it was a hard listen. It was, and because it was throwing me into these different kind of genres, I was a bit confused.
Yeah. No, they could strip the blanket away. Like there's no safety blanket. Like every 6 bars, it's change. Like they are completely throwing everything at the wall.
Yeah.
And seeing what sticks. But yeah, I really like your comment about like the naivety of it almost, like the innocence of it, just being like, you know, there's no kind of pretense
at all.
I guess.
At all. There's yeah. That's the best comments about this album is that there's no pretense and it's doing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. I was listening to this and I was so confused. I was like, what is this? What is going on here? Because apart from it being like mega synthy and poppy, all of the drum beats, nearly all of them are hip hop beats. And they sound like J Dilla samples. And I'm just like, this is so confused. I'm like, how do you do this? Like, that was the thing where I was going, how do you put this crazy poppy synthy thing on top of these like dark hip hop beats? These like really 808y like MPC beats. And then the songwriting. Yeah. I was like, this is insane. It's like putting teenage angst into Google Translate and a thesaurus and seeing what you get out of it. Because like this,
and then like getting Dr. Seuss to edit it or something.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Because some of these songs, right? It'd be this really great hooky chorus that you can just sing all day long, and then you listen to the verse and you're like, oh, okay, so that has no relation to this chorus whatsoever at all. Like what you just said in that chorus and we sing about in verse, like whatever. Like I'm just making this up as I go along. And then like I didn't read anything about the album before I listened to it. And I was so confused, Sam. I was like, I have to know who made this and how they made it. And the guy that made it, and I forget his name, I'll find it in a second. Like he was battling depression when he was making it, and they kept switching his meds around. So he was writing an album while they were switching his meds around. Yeah. And the reason that it kind of feels like that, Carl, it kind of feels like they're throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, is because it's his project. I'm trying to find the guy's name. Kevin Barnes. It's Kevin Barnes. It's his project, but loads of musicians that he was in bands with played on the album with him. So it's not like it was one particular set of musicians that played on the album. It was a bunch of different people coming in on different songs, and even his wife and stuff like that. So it's not like one band. It's so many different ideas coming together to make up the whole, which is why it feels like that, which is why it just feels like there's loads and loads of different things going on. But I find it most interesting. And also, the kicker is that there's a song in the middle of the album, switches it from being him, Kevin Barnes, to his alter ego. So the second half of the album is his alter ego, which is called, let me find it. It's too good.
And you went so deep.
It's too good. What's the name of the album again? It's called
Hissing Fauna, Are You the Destroyer?
Georgie Fruit. His glam rock alter ego is called Georgie Fruit. So halfway through the album, it switches from Kevin Barnes and his group of his band of merry men to Georgie Fruit, and her kind of descent into her dealing with modern life, because she's this glam rock superstar who's finding it hard to deal with modern life. Wow. Like it's an incredible piece of work, and I'm just glad we're doing this so I could get introduced to stuff like this now.
No, for sure.
Crazy.
Where are they from, Sam?
I don't know. I would have thought Montreal based on the name, but
no,
definitely not.
It's North Carolina.
Any other Nico? Where are they from?
From North Carolina. And it's not them, it's one guy, it's Kevin Barnes. Athens, Georgia. It's from Georgia, not North Carolina. Sorry, they're from Georgia.
So how did you how was your relationship with the album, Sam? Or was that no, your relationship was with the
live performance. Yeah, so I heard that music live before I then went and kind of researched the album and downloaded it and was listening to it. But then coming back from that festival, it was like a selection of artists that I heard for the first time. That then for the next 2 years, it was just on a playlist on repeat in my head every day.
Like who were they?
What's her name? She got really big after like that year. Florence and the Machine.
Yeah.
I think that was saw them for the first time. Saw her for the first time. I'm trying to remember who else. No, those two are the ones that stuck out. Florence and the Machine and Off Montreal. But just to go back to your question, Carl, I think, you know, with this album in particular, I just think that because it's so fast-paced and changes like so rapidly, there's always something new. Every time you listen to it, you're like, I didn't know that was there. Now it is, you know. There's so much to kind of discover each time you listen to it because there's just so much going on.
I'll tell you what it reminded me of. It reminded me of trying to listen to a Charles Mingus album.
Oh my God, yeah, man.
And like, don't get it, don't get it.
No.
Or Miles Davis Bitches Brew or something. You got to just listen to it and just like trying to follow it. It's just about, like I said, discovering something new that you never heard before. You know what I mean? It was that kind of listen for me. So I'll have to keep revisiting it to get.
So I think I was fortunate enough to see it alongside the visual spectacle of the gig, the live performance. So that then when I re-listen to it, it's kind of reliving that experience of hearing that song. And it's not necessarily like I think this is like the standard of what is good, but it just immediately throws me back to being 16 years old in a festival for the first time.
But
you know,
like
has that kind of impact on
you know, it's an incredible album for the temerity of it, like just the sheer bravery of writing songs like that and putting everything into it and keeping it fast as that. Like I love it because of that. I love it because they're just basically not taking any prisoners on the album. It's really, really good. All right, before we run out of time, tell us about your 3 songs, and then we have to pick your guilty pleasure.
Okay, so I've got 3 songs here for you, 2 of which are not my guilty pleasure, and 1 of which is top guilty pleasure. So the first one, we've got Pure Shores by All Saints, as featured in The Beach, that infamous soundtrack. My second track is Stream of Consciousness by Dream Theater. My third option for you guys is How You Remind Me by Nickelback.
Oh my God. Just to say, all of these songs, all of the music that we're talking about today are in the show notes in our playlist. So go down and listen to this, either while you're watching the episode or after. However,
except Nickelback.
You have to defend these 3 songs, Sam.
Okay. So ridiculously into them as a 13-year-old, 14-year-old. They've got huge, epic 17-minute songs, crazy prog arrangements. The playing on it is ridiculous, but it's so cringe listening back to it now, being like, bruh, why were you in that place?
You know what they do? They play the next obvious thing.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. You listen to it, you go, obviously you would go here, so that's where you go. Like, and also, like, it's 10 minutes of my life I'm never gonna get.
I almost made that album my album, like my favorite album, just so you all had to sit through I like so many long songs.
I liked it. I liked the song because I was like, this is like Knight Rider, it's like TJ Hooker, this is 80s, 90s cop show music, but not cop show, a bit gritty, you know, but you're trying some Rule the World's crap on it, you know. It actually sounds like what, before I forget, when I first heard this, I thought, oh, what would happen? What happened to Bruno from Fame, right? Where is he now? This is him.
That's too good.
All right, next song.
So the next one I chose for you guys to to try and decipher whether it's my guilty pleasure or not is How You Remind Me by Nickelback. So this is actually the first CD I ever bought. It was that single. I was in an airport and I just moved on from buying Game Boy cartridges to being like, you know what, instead of buying a Game Boy game, I'm going to buy a song. And I chose Nickelback.
Did you?
But the first 5 seconds of that song, wonderful. Brilliant drum fill.
I totally agree with you. The song has some wonderful things in it separately. When you put all of them together, however, it improves your mind.
They get such a bad rap, man. It's so funny that like certain bands just get that stigma.
Yeah.
Of like, no, they're not legit. You can't think that they're in any way good. Like Coldplay.
Why were they getting slated so much? Were they like?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's the state of him. Like, have you seen him?
It's what's his name? Chad Kruger, is that his name?
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Lead singer guy. It's because when you see them, it looks really disingenuous. Like it doesn't look like the people in that band are playing the music from it. And then they have this. They have a sort of. It's sort of a little bit. I'm being really critical here, but
no, I think you're absolutely right.
That I really like from Nickelback, but it looks. It doesn't. The whole thing, the whole picture doesn't quite fit together. And they came up at a time when everybody was moving online and stuff, and videos were so important, and everybody just went, something does not quite equate here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So my last song is Pure Shores from All Saints, and there's just something about there's a delay effect that they use on the guitar in that track. Just you get this really nice. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's like an association with watching the movie or anything like that, but it just gets me every time, man.
All right. It's the movie. It's the movie that suckered you in.
Probably.
All right, Carl. What's your guess?
It's really weird. I've just put All Saints on in my ears while I'm thinking about it. I'm going for Nickelback.
What do you reckon, Nico?
I think it's All Saints Pure Shores. But Sam will reveal in the next episode.
Keep it to myself until later.
Selector. Rich and Nico in the morning. Like, share, and subscribe to all our videos. And if buy our shit and stuff. He's gonna keep laughing. But seriously, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, guys. Come again next week, Tuesday. Peace.